What barriers
Thanks,
have you
Ashley.
faced
Thanks
in
for
your
having me.
bid to get back for a visit? Is it the problem of travel caps? Is it a lack of flights, the cost, or is it all of the above?
I think the biggest issue facing Australian citizens trying to get back is that the process feels very much like a lottery. So you can book the flight, you can plan ahead, pack your things, not really knowing what your chances are of actually boarding that plane. I think that's probably the most anxiety-inducing aspect of all of this. You know, once you've gotten over the proposed cost of getting home, which can be exorbitantly high, booking a business class ticket, I've seen prices upwards of $10,000 for a flight, and still having that feeling like, am I going to be able to board this flight when I get to the airport? It's definitely anxiety-inducing.
You're probably pretty lucky to be an American when we look at what's going on in India. As an Aussie expat living abroad, how does it make you feel to see the Australian government shutting the door to Australians in India who want to get home?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably wasn't the best judgment call. But, you know, I do have understanding at the same time that anyone sitting in Australia looking around the world, seeing what's going on elsewhere, probably thinks, I don't want to have this on my doorstep. And, you know, we don't want that on Australia's doorstep either. That said, you know, we are 12 months down the track, and it would be good to see a more nuanced approach to handling incoming Australian citizens, because there's plenty of us around the world trying to get back.
And so, Lex, what would you say to viewers sitting at home watching this interview thinking, well, you know, it's May 2021, this has been going on for more than a year now, what's taken you so long? Why haven't all these people managed to get home much sooner and tried sooner?
Yeah, I think everyone's situation is different. I don't think it's, you know, a one-size-fits-all approach to coming home. We have lives all around the world. You know, you could trip over an Australian anywhere in the world. We're adventurous types that like to live elsewhere, but Australia is still our home. And, you know, we have families. We're your mates, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, you know, your grandparents, and we just want to be with our families. And, you know, when you go through something like a pandemic, and I mean, in New York, it's been 12 months of going through this, and we're making a lot of progress now. We'll be reopened by May, July, without restriction. A good 50% of the population here have had their first dose. I think 1/3 have had both doses of their vaccines. And, you know, that's a city of 20 million people. So we are seeing progress here. And I guess we just want to see the same, you know, kind of progress back home.
I guess here in Australia, a lot of people are really priding ourselves on the way that Australia has managed COVID. We haven't suffered nearly as badly as many countries overseas. Broadly, there's a sense that we have been the lucky country. When it comes to the border rules, though, what do you think it has done to Australia's reputation overseas? How are Australians in the expat community reacting to these policies? I know there's been a lot of blowback, in particular about the hotel quarantine policy, which is deeply unpopular.
Yeah, I think there's a sense of frustration. When we talk to, or at least when I talk to my friends here in America, you know, they can't believe it, right? Because we've had a very different story. But, you know, I think the main thing for me is just maintaining a positive relationship between Australians and Australians at home and Australians abroad. You know, kind of bury that resentment, that fear, and allow us to get back together and be with the people that we love. You know, that's really the most important thing. So as far as, you know, the borders and quarantine, like I said, I understood at the very beginning of this, whatever we could do, whatever Australia could do at the beginning, you know, you do it, but 12 months down the track, I'd like to see what the plan is moving forward for Australia to start accepting more of its citizens home, especially the ones that have been vaccinated abroad. And like I said, it's happening at a rapid pace here. We'd like to see the same kind of pace happen back home.
Yeah, you mentioned New York's getting back on its feet, and it's great to hear that. as a musician, just expand on that for us. Are you back playing at gigs? I understand you have music tours booked in Europe in a few months' time.
Yep.
How easy or difficult are you expecting it to be to travel to and fro from Europe?
I mean, the jury's out. We don't know yet until we try. But things definitely feel a lot better around the city. I had a gig in the East Village last night, indoors, probably 30% capacity, people mingling together, having a good time. And as time progresses, as I said, into May, July, we'll see those restrictions lifted. And New York's felt somewhat normal for a while, but we're edging closer to normality, which is a positive thing. It's very hard to ask people to, not go to work, especially if you're an artist, musician, for the best part of a year. But New York's a resilient place. It's been through a lot of things. It's a fearless place, and everyone here is well and truly ready to get back into it.